Hey everyone, and welcome back to BMX News. This is a weekly BMX news show where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week within the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about. That being said, in addressing the title, the first thing that I want to talk about this week is something that I'm not going to tell the specific story about or name the name of the person involved with it, and that is because we don't know exactly what has happened. A local news station to the situation has reported on this already, but I've seen on Instagram that apparently their reporting of the situation and what happened wasn't 100% accurate, and because I wasn't there and I don't know what exactly happened, and no one does except for the people who were actually there, I'm not going to talk about or tell the specific story of what happened. And also, I'm not going to list the name of the person for the protection of that person, because most likely this situation didn't just happen on its own. It's likely that it was either caused by brain injuries and CTE or something like it, or substance abuse. And because of that, sharing this news story and sharing the person's name and putting them on blast is just not something that I want to be a part of. Yes, this is news within the BMX world. That's why it's totally understandable to share it. But where I'm going to differ is that with my sharing of this news, I'm going to protect the identity of the person involved and not share what could possibly be a totally inaccurate representation of what happened. And in turn, I'm going to share resources for the people out there who might know somebody or suffering from mental health issues and could possibly have CTE, because that is what we need to be doing in this situation. Just last week, we had a situation that resulted in a lot of people speaking out against hate in general in BMX and talking about speaking up whenever you see something bad happening. Well, this is me speaking up because there is a lot of people out there right now making jokes about this, making memes about it, and sharing and just laughing in general at the situation. Yes, I admit, when you first hear this situation, it does sound kind of funny. But the problem is that likely it goes way deeper than that first impression and first laughing at the situation. And I'm not trying to condemn anyone here. What I'm trying to do is to get people to think deeper. Think about how much different your reaction and what you might have posted on the internet would have been if this story ended with someone taking their own life or having their life taken because of the situation at hand. Think of how different it would have been if we would have had to post RIP to this person because of this situation and because of everything that led up to it. Would you have still made your jokes? Would you still have made your memes? Would you still have shared and laughed the way that you did about this situation? Because right now, this situation is what leads to those things. If this person doesn't get the help that they need, or they don't take the help that they need, that's exactly what could come from this. And if this did stem from mental health issues, there's no telling what reaction could come from this person coming back to the internet world, seeing that there's entire comment sections and groups of people devoted to making fun of this situation and laughing about it and making memes about it. If it's a mental health issue, there's nothing good that can come from that. And in trying to be balanced and reasonable with my reactions to things, I do want to point out that the vast majority of people in the world of BMX either don't know, don't care, or don't say anything about situations. So not every single person in the BMX world is making jokes, making memes, or laughing about this. This is a perfect situation to actually do something and speak out against something. And there are people online who are doing this and who are sticking up for this person and saying that it's not right to make these jokes, because this could have so easily ended in this person not being on this earth today. And I feel like we have a responsibility to just do better, because BMX can do better. And this is where I want to talk about the BMX media outlets and their responsibilities in these situations. We're seeing these BMX media outlets sharing this story, having absolutely no idea if the information is correct or not. And we're seeing them share it on Facebook and their websites. And just because I feel strongly about this, I am going to name names here. Vital BMX shared this post on their website without any kind of well wishes or anything like that. They literally just shared the information as soon as possible. I don't know the motivations for it, but I don't think it's a very big conclusion to jump to whenever it's posted as soon as humanly possible with no well wishes or anything other than just the story itself to figure out what the motivations were there. And then we have our BMX sharing it. They did have some well wishes in there, so good on them there. They copied and pasted the news story from the website. But what they also did was shared it on Facebook, literally just with the caption, "Wow." They shared a link to their website and said, Wow. Absolutely no message here whatsoever. Then we had Vital also sharing it on their Facebook page with absolutely no well wishes or anything like that. And once again, I'm not going to condemn anyone here. What I am going to say is that we can do better than this. We have a responsibility as BMX media outlets to take these situations and try to make the best out of them and try to make something positive come from them. This is a perfect example of a situation where we could have taken it and put the resources necessary there for people who might be struggling with the same things to reach out, or maybe people who know someone who's struggling with the same things and reach out and try to help people. But instead, all we get is wow. All we get is the story itself. Just last week, we were talking about speaking out against things, and now we're sharing a story about someone who very easily could have been dead, with absolutely no regard for that person or others who might be going through similar situations, who might see the reaction from BMX that comes from absolutely no guidance from the BMX media or greater BMX community, and see that it's a joke to everyone, to see that mental health is a joke to people, to see that substance abuse is a joke to people, because that's what it is becoming. That's what these reactions are. It makes it look like a joke, and the people who are actually struggling from these things probably aren't feeling helped from the situation and aren't feeling like they can reach out for help, because guess what? Whenever something reaches a boiling point and something crazy happens, BMX makes a joke out of it. And the BMX media people and the people who should have some sort of responsibility to try and help the situation don't do anything about it whatsoever. And it just goes to show that BMX is superficial and just reacts to situations whenever they come about, and it takes a certain extreme for action to come from it. And it's sad that some random dude with weird long hair on the internet has to be the one to say this rather than the ones that everyone looks up to. So with that, I'm not condemning anyone. I'm not saying that you're terrible people or that anything should come from this whatsoever. You guys can post whatever you want to. You can say whatever you want to. All I'm saying is that BMX and BMX media can do better. And with that, I just want to put some positive out there. And I want to say that there are people out there who are actually doing good things. And one of those people is Rob DiQuattro, who posted on Instagram yesterday or the day before about some fundraising that he's currently doing. He's got two different things set up. One is an eBay sale of a few different pieces of his personal BMX memorabilia. And I do think a bunch of you guys watching this will be interested in some of the things that he has for sale. He's got a blackened hat from the early 2000s signed by Mike Aitken, Brian Foster, and a bunch of other people who were at the 2006 Gravity Games. He's got the first ever Scavenger BMX shirt, as well as an RNC BMX 28.2 sprocket from before they started making things again. And that's just to name a few of the things that he's got. There's a couple more things there as well. And then he's got a GoFundMe set up where he's raising funds for the Equal Justice Initiative, where he's doing a live stream from 12 to 4 Mountain Time on his Instagram page. That's 2 to 6 Eastern Time. And his Instagram page is on the screen right now. And he's going to be riding and just trying to raise money. And I just wanted to highlight this as someone who's actively trying to do good in all of what's going on right now. And then after that is something else I wanted to highlight this week that has been a huge thing and topic of conversation in BMX, and that is that DK has now discontinued the General Lee bike. With everything going on, they made a post on their Instagram that says, "A wake-up call is sounding in America. We've heard it loud and clear. BMX is a small space. There's no room for racism. There is no perfect right thing to say, but there's clearly a right thing to do. Effective today, DK is discontinuing all General Lee model bikes. We won't stop listening and learning. Thanks for sounding the alarm." And with this came a lot of criticism, also came a lot of praise. And what I want to say about this, to all of the people who are criticizing the situation, saying, "Oh my God, it's just a bike, whatever." Well, then if it's just a bike, who cares if it's gone? If it's not hurting you that it's gone, but it is hurting some other people that it exists, who cares if it goes away? Why does it matter? Is it affecting your life? You're gonna forget about this in a week anyways, so who cares if it goes away? DK thought it was the right move to make, so they discontinued it. And then you got people on the other side saying that this should have been done a long time ago. And to those people, I would say just try to be happy about the fact that it's gone now and put that energy into trying to do something about the other issues that we have in BMX currently, because now this isn't going to have to be an issue moving forward because it's gone now. And with all of that, just like last week, I want that to be the main focus of the video this week because it's most important. But I do want to give you guys some videos and things to watch and give you kind of a normal BMX news video after the fact. So let's start talking about some videos that came out this week. The first one that I want to talk about is probably going to be my most favorite video of this week, and it's 10 years of BTM from S&M with Mike Hoder, because this is 10 years of his signature BTM. And with that, they put together this video of some highlights from Hoder's 10 years of that BTM frame, and it's just highlights of some of the craziest stuff that he's done throughout that 10 years, and it's well put together, and a lot of the B-roll in there just shows you his personality, and I just really honestly enjoyed this video. The next video I want to talk about goes in a completely opposite direction. This one is with Jakub Spurny, and it's called Quarantine Ramp 2020, and it's literally just him riding the same ramp doing a ton of lip tricks on it, and that's why I want to talk about it second, because it's a lot of really solid lip tricks, and anyone who enjoys lip tricks will definitely enjoy this video. And then after that, there's a ton of videos that I think are worth mentioning, but I didn't want to talk super in depth about. The first one comes from Bruno Hoffman, and it's called Solitude. This one's just over 2 minutes long, so if you're a Bruno Hoffman fan or you guys want to watch some street riding, that's going to be a good one for you. Then we can go back to the skate park with Zach Dangerfield and his Colony Take a Ticket section, which is just completely full of mind-blowing tricks. This guy can do some stuff that probably no one else has or could ever do. I'm pretty sure he does a 180 bar spin to hang 5 backwards to something out. Try to imagine that, and then just go and watch it to actually see it, because you're gonna need to see it. And I forgot to mention that all of the links to everything that I'm going to be talking about today are linked in the description below in the order that I talk about it. Then we've got a video with Reed Stark called Sushi Safari, and that comes from BSD. And we've got a video from We the People with Dylan Lloyd and Justin Hughes, followed by Cult's 4th Raw AMS video. This one's a little bit longer, so if you guys are craving something longer, this is gonna be the one you're gonna wanna check out. And you know, with the quality of the first 3 of these Raw AMS video, this one is going to be awesome as well. And then we've got a video from Shadow and Sabrosa called IDK. Jarky put that one together in some of his spare time, and there's some really good riders in there like Jabe Jones, Jarky, Jerry Blavel, and more. And then we've got a whole bunch more Battle of Hastings qualifier submission videos. Literally like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 8 more of these. We've got Anthony Catlow's submission, Eric Voss, Johnny Atencio, Hans, I'm not butchering your name, Dakota Brat, Roman, not butchering your name as well, and then Jeffrey Harris. And a couple things I want to point out about this is that the Hans, he's from Norway. Roman, he's from Ukraine. So we've got submissions from all around the world in here now, and it's so awesome to see how many submissions there are and from how many different places there are and how many different levels of rider there are. While I do think it would be awesome if somebody from a totally different country that we've never heard of before won this, I also think it would be awesome if somebody I knew won this. We've got Anthony Catlow and Dakota Brat in here, and I know both of those guys, so it would be cool if somebody that I knew won it. But I also think it would be amazing to see someone that we have no idea who they are absolutely blow this out of the water, then go to Battle of Hastings and just kill it. And that brings us into the product section from this week. The first thing we knew was coming. It came out just after last week's BMX news video, and that is the bike check from Fit with Brad Sims, because Brad Sims rides for Fit now, if you guys didn't catch the news somehow. And with this, it's a video bike check, but it's kind of just a slideshow bike check. Brad introduces it. There's a riding clip of him at the beginning, and he says it's his bike check, and then they just kind of go through some shots with the text of what the parts are on the screen. It's well put together. The music goes with it. It's only a minute long. So if you guys are interested in what Brad's running on his bike now that he's riding for Fit, head over there and check it out. And then a couple days ago, we had the news that Morgan Wade's signature frame from Hoffman Bikes is or was available. I'm pretty sure that it's sold out now. This frame was over 7.5 pounds. It has chainstay brakes, removable gyro tabs, and I'm pretty sure the reason that it was so heavy is because he used thicker tubing. If you guys have ever seen Morgan Wade ride, you know that he did this for a reason, because he needs it. Morgan Wade is absolute savage on his bike, and I've heard stories about how he flipped the Mini Mega at Woodward East and maybe flip whipped it and then landed and pulled his brakes so hard that he ripped the mounts off the frame. That's just one example of something that I heard. So This frame was built for Morgan Wade, and I'm sorry to say for those of you who only follow the BMX news video and might have not caught it in time and might have wanted this frame, and I'm pretty sure it's sold out. But hopefully that instant disappearance of these frames means that they will make more and that they will be available again. So with that, let's start a conversation about the first thing that I talked about in this news video in the comments down below. I'm honestly curious to have a conversation about this and try to move things forward in a positive way. So let's do that. And if you guys haven't hit the subscribe button, do so while you're down there. And hopefully that'll mean we'll see you tomorrow for another video. I want to thank you guys all for watching, and goodbye.